Three. Hi. Oh, hi, Vedant. It's nice to be here with
Hey,
you
how's it
today.
going?
Good, good. I'm excited to talk about C60 and Bufo. And so, yeah, you mentioned to let's start with Bufo first. So, curious what's on your mind around the Bufo.
Bufo, as you and I both know, it's such a powerful medicine that
Mm,
I believe sits at the apex of the psychedelic medicine pyramid.
mm,
And what I feel Bufo has to offer is literally um, the enlightenment experience. Adhering to a dedicated spiritual path with just healthy practices, a healthy mindset, to be in alignment and flow, it's so much easier to do when we get a sneak peek as to what it is we're going towards, what it is we're seeking to embody. Because this medicine is able to completely dissolve who it is we think we are. It's able to dissolve every ounce of our existence. And when it puts us back, it feels like it puts us back together in a more harmonious state
mm,
that's truer to our individual essence.
mm,
And it offers this powerful experience, but also physical, mental, spiritual reset more towards alignment.
mhm.
Do you feel that does it justice? Like how would you express what
Yeah,
you understand of Bufo?
yeah. I feel like that resonates for me, what you're saying in terms of putting people back into a more aligned state, absolutely. And yeah, just acknowledging that it sometimes unlocks parts of our psyche that we have forgotten and allows it to be brought to the surface to be healed and cleared. And yeah, it's been a transformational medicine in my life for myself and to witness others as well. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yes.
So part of what I emphasize is when someone wants to sit with Bufo,
Mm-hmm.
of course they will meet the medicine where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
but in order to fully honor what the medicine has to offer,
Mm-hmm.
I think each individual needs to do their due diligence in terms of trying to be as aligned to their truth in their current circumstances as possible,
Mm-hmm.
to then be able to expand from that vantage point with the help of Bufo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we take Bufo, it brings in this really high vibrational frequency of the medicine. And it's not always easy to anchor that within our physical body,
Mm-hmm.
which is why a number of experiences can be ones that, participants may not necessarily even remember
Mm-hmm.
because they completely black out while the
Mm-hmm.
medicine continues to work through them. And that has its place in terms of therapeutic value
Mm-hmm.
because it allows for these individuals to process emotions or energies that would otherwise be too taxing for the conscious mind. But as one progresses, there is so much more value in being able to be present with the
Mm-hmm.
medicine and
Mm-hmm.
experience that centeredness within oneself
Mm-hmm.
while being with the medicine, but also connected to our third dimensional world.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I have talked about just good practices towards being most present for the
Mm-hmm.
medicine.
Yes.
Um, and one of them, of course, is to try and make sure the physical body is in as high vibrational state as possible.
Yeah.
Um, you know, every single day, be it the air we inhale, the water we drink, the food we ingest,
Yes.
there are elements of pollutants and toxins that we just cannot seem to avoid.
Mhm.
And while the physical body is very capable of detoxing and neutralizing toxins, at some point, it's hard to stay on top of things. And that's where just not only consuming healthy food, but taking supplements is important. Drinking
Mhm.
fresh water is important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess that's the segue to
Yeah.
a little more about C60.
C60, yes. I always preface in my prep and my integration that clean eating is integral and hydrating, of course, because often people are sitting with Campbell prior to Bufo as well. And because that is going to help you be in alignment with your highest vibration and with source. So that's, I do preface that for sure. And yes, C60 has been and is an integral part in integrating. And I just I'm excited to hear from you who's making this beautiful miracle molecule, the benefits from your words, pre and post the Bufo experience for the prep and for the integration, how it works, and the
Okay,
benefits around that.
for sure. And C60 or carbon 60, it's such a big subject. It's tricky to do it justice. And
Yeah.
it's something even I find difficult to do justice. So for the purposes of our current intention, I'll try and narrow it down just to focus on how it ties in with Bufo.
Yes. Yeah. Great.
So in a nutshell, C60 is a very powerful antioxidant, one of the most powerful antioxidants that we have discovered, and it's 172 times more potent than vitamin C. So not only does it help alleviate inflammation and help neutralize toxins and reactive oxygen species and free radicals, but it also helps stimulate stem cells in our body so that as our immune system, with the help of C60, clears out old, damaged, and inefficient cells, these stem cells also help our tissues and organs heal. And the stem cells are basically 0 days old. They're brand new cells. So if someone's 55 and they start taking C60, their 55-year-old cells are now slowly replaced by cells that are 1 day old. And so on the whole, your organs, your tissues are starting to heal, they're starting to function better. But also the energetics of these new cells are more conducive to the rebirth that one is seeking to walk into while working, while co-creating with a sacred medicine like Bufo.
Yeah, amazing.
So in consuming C60 and having enough C60 in every cell in the body, we're now helping our body to start repairing any damage that's accumulated over years and decades. But we're also helping our body detox from chemicals physically that have accumulated and that would otherwise dampen our cells' ability to hold different states of energy. What's really cool is that C60 also goes in close proximity to our DNA strands, because our DNA strands are helical in structure and they curve upwards. The C60 molecule is able to nestle itself in the grooves and start taking out any heavy metals that are stuck in the DNA.
Amazing.
It's able to start bringing the cell's attention to any mutations that might have accumulated in the DNA. Also, when we talk about things like inherited trauma or intergenerational trauma, these are emotional imprints that actually get locked into your genetic sequences.
Yeah.
They may manifest as mutations that just get inherited across generations.
Mm.
And these mutations do not allow for our DNA to vibrate in its highest frequency.
Mhm.
But it's not debilitating to a point where we cannot function in everyday life. So it tends to just get swept under a lumpy rug.
Yeah.
But when we start taking C60 with that intention, as it helps our strands of DNA repair themselves, as it detoxifies the body, our DNA is now able to resume vibrating in its highest frequency.
Mm.
It's able to now anchor the light body and
Mm.
all the other strands of DNA that we aren't otherwise aware of. And when you look at DNA from a top-down perspective, it's a dodecahedron, which is a sacred geometric shape,
Mhm.
much like a hollow cylinder.
Mhm.
And when it starts vibrating in its native frequency, it starts producing particles of light, biophotons, which start emanating outwards.
Oh, wow.
And
Amazing.
now you go from being an embodied being of consciousness that absorbs energy on the outside, that
Mm.
needs to rely on copious amounts of food on the outside to generate energy, to now being something of a spiritual artist, where when in alignment, in harmonic resonance, we're now producing energy. And these biophotons, they enrich our auric field.
Mm.
They add to our subtle energetics, our chi,
Mm.
and it starts to heal us on a physical level while also bringing about that radiance, that shine that's otherwise hard to put your finger on,
Mm.
but it also attracts everything that serves our highest good.
Absolutely. Wow, it's really potent to hear you talk about it in that way, because I when I'm working with both Kembo and Bufo, the intention is to clear out those toxins and trauma, and what a gift to work with C60 to be able to help your cells regenerate into brand new light light frequency cells. It's so inspiring to just even fathom that the possibilities of this supplement that can help you maintain that frequency and, as you say, vibrate in a higher frequency, in a longevity, in an integrated way, by incorporating
Yeah.
this
And
miracle molecule. Yeah.
the energetics that we talk about, it's not only about metaphysical phenomena. Like when it comes to like quantum physics and rotational vibrational characteristics, C60 has been vetted and demonstrated to do all these things while being subjected to the rigors of scientific technique.
Hmm.
Um, it is the largest known substance that demonstrates wave particle duality. And what that means is that it does transcend the space-time continuum. Each individual molecule of C60 can actually exist in every possible conformation and vibrational state
Wow.
at a particular given time simultaneously. So what it's doing is it's able to collapse its infinite potentialities, probabilities, possibilities of existence and bring it in one present moment
Hmm.
where it's all simultaneously occurring. And this is what got quantum physicists really excited, because there's nothing they've discovered like it. It's also the most symmetrical molecule that's known to science,
Wow.
which allows for it to have so many different vibrational frequencies. And there was an attempt to quantify what that number is, and it's a
Hmm.
really big number.
Hmm.
It's 10 to the power 26, which basically is the number 10 followed by 25 zeros. That's how many frequencies it can anchor at any given moment.
Wow.
So even while co-creating with C60 internally, even taking a moment to pause and encode within the C60 what our intention is, it then imprints itself on the molecule.
Yeah.
And while it's working within us, that intention is being manifest from the inside out on a cellular level.
So that goes to speak, we've talked a little bit about, bringing the C60 into the Bufo session, so it's able to hold the vibrational frequency of that session so that you can carry it on, in a supplement form after your session to keep that frequency that you felt within the session.
Absolutely, yes. Because when we dive in deep with a medicine like Bufo, we are integrating, experiencing, and tapping into parts of ourselves that is so much bigger than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
And as we connect with our higher selves, our physical body can experience it for a fleeting moment. And then it might take us years to be able to embody it more and more. Like you said, in having C60 present in that space, in our proximity, our highest vibration can then be imprinted on the bottle of C60. And even after ceremony, when we then co-create and consume that C60, we are reintroducing our own highest vibration. And so it's like that beacon that helps guide us towards our highest potential.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really important as we talk about integration, because as we know, Bufo can be really potent, both expansively and triggering as well. And helping people come back to that higher frequency or alignment or centeredness with something that can, regenerate their cells and vibrations on a higher frequency is very beneficial when you're working with these potent medicines. For me, the thought of, you're investing your time, your finances, your energy into experiencing something so profound, and why wouldn't you want to invest that to keep, what you signed up for, the experience that you signed up for, going? And because people are called to this medicine not usually just for an experience, but to shift, to create some powerful shifts in their lives. And yeah, I just think that C60 is such a gift to be able to use it as an integration process. And I really am excited to now start incorporating it into the sessions in the new space, so that people have access to their vibrational imprint on the medicine, and with the groups even, that high, because the groups can be really powerful as well, and to have that co-creation of high vibrational energy in there, so you're carrying everybody's vibration in that bottle of C60. Really potent. Yeah.
In circles, in a group setting, there's a vortex of energy that is formed, and it's like everyone's collective blessings and good intention and focused awareness and goodwill. It just, a circle in itself can be so healing and therapeutic. And then when you bring any sacred medicine, you're now taking it to a whole another level. And to have that C60 there in that open space of just goodwill and love and awareness, it's very potentiating for sure. And to your earlier point, I just wanted to make a comment where you said most people who come to work with this medicine, they really are looking to process an entire lifetime's worth of experiences many lifetimes worth of
Yes.
experiences and are hoping to leapfrog forward to
Yeah.
maybe even reduce how many more lifetimes may lie ahead by being able to journey in the fast lane.
Yeah.
So there's the element of also doing so responsibly,
Yeah.
because it's like you said, it's not just about the experience, it's a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
The first time you go to the gym and you decide to run a 5K, you're going to be sore for days after.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that working out is bad. It's not that running is bad.
Mm-hmm.
You need to walk that path in a very careful, responsible way,
Mm-hmm.
and follow certain steps prior to doing so to build that stamina,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to integrate it after by way of self-care and supplementation and stretching.
Mm-hmm.
So much like with Bufo, you are working out the physical body, but you're also tapping into such expansive states of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
that it's as important to track how you come back from the experience as it is how you approach the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about working through shadow elements of one's persona, one's psyche, of the experience,
Mm-hmm.
it can be compared to a healing crisis
Mm-hmm.
where someone went into ceremony, say from a place of not even being aware of
Mm-hmm.
what was beneath the surface,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the conscious mind wasn't able to process certain instances when they took place,
Yeah.
and hence it's been buried in the subconscious mind, but it's under the surface, not to one's awareness. And in doing Bufo, it's like dissolving the veil between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind,
Yeah.
and further dissolving the veil between the subconscious mind and the superconscious soul.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that can come up that not only the body, but even our psyche cannot anchor or process or transmute those emotional energies in their most raw form.
Mm-hmm.
So, in being able to take the steps to nourish the physical body,
Mm-hmm.
use nootropics like C60 that also align our nervous system, align our brain, and start doing it sets the groundwork for our
Mm-hmm.
body to be a strong enough foundation for us to be able to anchor more of our consciousness and more of our awareness, because our body's vibration is raising, and hence we can download and anchor more of our consciousness. In doing that, in preparation for Bufo, we are already processing and transmuting
Mm-hmm.
the shadow elements
Mm-hmm.
that are beneath the surface.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
when we step into Bufo,
Mm-hmm.
it's not so much of a healing crisis or a shock to the conscious mind should those elements come to the surface, because we've already been preparing to anchor, process them.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah.
And to do after
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. 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 I think that's beautiful. I mean, part of the reason I served Cambo prior is to help reduce the idea of the shadow work, but it's not always a guarantee. And I remember Nanya saying that to us in Mexico. Like, I never want to bring anyone to the dark. But Bufo takes people where they need to go to process what needs to be processed, and
Yeah.
trusting in that process. But I love that the idea of grounding yourself pre the experience with this molecule can help center and help ground you for that shadow aspect that can be brought up during the experience with Bufo. That's beautiful.
And let's talk about manifestation.
Yeah.
After Bufo, I mean, it's not even fair to say that we step back into the life we lived before we did that ceremony. Because after a deep experience, it feels like things are mostly the same, but the things that have changed are very significant. And it's almost magical in a way. Because who knows, maybe in a way, we're also just jumping
Yeah,
levels,
timelines. Yeah, timelines and
right? It's
evolving. Absolutely.
consolidating timelines, and we're just moving up. We're evolving so fast.
Yeah.
And manifestations become more and more instant.
Yeah.
All the things that serve our highest good just seem to align with our path. And all of a sudden, we're meeting people that we were meant to meet, that we have known for years, even though it's the first encounter.
Yeah.
And to complement that with C60's quantum magic, because C60 already inherently, because of its energetics, brings in multiple timelines
Yeah.
and parallel realities into one present moment. So in anchoring those energies in our body with C60's help and then doing Bufo, that's exactly what we're also doing. We are collapsing all the infinite parallel timelines into this one present moment of awareness. And not only are we releasing so much karma, but we are reclaiming more of our own power, and we're bringing it into this present moment.
Amazing. That's beautiful. Yeah, it is such a beautiful thing. And I know from my own life, Bufo has done just that. And, I've been using C60 off and on to, keep that vibrational energy. So beautiful. I love to hear you talk about C60. I love doing these videos because I know that I'm not doing it justice, but every time we do this, I'm educating myself more to give myself a deeper understanding so I can help people. Really, essentially is what it's about, is helping people, evolve, evolve to where they're trying to go by doing this work. So yeah, it's a beautiful offering. I'm just aware of the time, so maybe we should close. And yeah, just so much gratitude for the C60 and you and teaching us about the many benefits.
Thank you. It's beautiful to walk this medicine journey together.
Yeah.
And we started with Bufo at the same time.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
So in a way, we are each other's anchor. And Alicia, it's beautiful to walk this path with you.
Oh yes, thanks. I'm very grateful to have you on this path with me as well. So thank you so much for always being a light. Oh, okay. Well, till next time, Vedant.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I don't know how to end the recording.